let's jump into the final story of the day. This one, I have not been following the case, but everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and what's happening as a response to this. And if what he's saying here is true in this headline, Johnny Depp making desperate attempt to malign Amber Heard, Aquaman star's lawyer says, admits promised $7 million charitable donations as delayed. So look, Johnny, he's got to be pretty furious. Okay. He lost out on the Grindelwald job, which I still think Warner's like, they totally just like, they dropped the ball on that one. They so stupid to do. There's been a ton of reports that potentially Johnny Depp will probably not work in Hollywood again after this, after losing the defamation case against Amber Heard with The Sun, and that wife beater line is going to follow him, which is, I think, disgusting. Because I've read a lot of the stuff and I'm like, these people were toxic towards each other, and she is guilty of her own set of things. But no one wants to talk about that. For some reason, no one ever wants to talk about that. I don't get it. Well, I get it. I do get it. I think we all kind of fucking get it, right? But anyway, but this $7 million charitable donation situation is kind of interesting. So let's find out more. The multinational legal battles between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have just become a lot less charitable. As the once married Rum Diary co-stars inch towards a May 3rd trial start in Depp's $50 million defamation suit against Heard, claims have now reemerged over whether the Aquaman star actually did donate her $7 million 2016 divorce settlement to charity as promised. As clearly planted, it is a clearly planted story in the Daily Mail. Yeah, it's 100% planted. He's like, they're going to negotiate through the media. All right. They're going to fight via the media. It's going to get bad. But anyway, it seems to help get the Pirates of the Caribbean actor the new trial, that seems aimed to help Johnny Depp get the trial. So say, all right, Mr. Depp's effort to plant stories in the media criticizing Amber for not yet fulfilling all the donations she pledged to charity is yet another desperate attempt to divert attention from the UK court's findings relating to allegations of Mr. Depp committing domestic abuse and violence. This is coming from Elaine Bredehoft, Heard's attorney. Now, and they say here, diverting. See, this is where like even Dominic from Deadline's like, let me see if I can spin this towards Amber's favor, but still be journalistically intact. So it says here that while Depp initially handed over $100,000 of a promised $3.5 million to LA's Children's Hospital in Heard's name in 2016, a 2019 letter from the organization asked the address, if you have knowledge if the Children's Hospital LA should expect further installments on your behalf of a pledge, or will it not be filled? That's not good, dude. That's not good. Are you kidding me? Like a Children's Hospital. Like, I mean, like the optics alone on that one, like you're taking money from sick children. That's not a good look. That's why the story it's smart. It's really smart because that's a big fuck you. Heard stated in the UK High Court last year and on various other occasions that over the past few years, she donated the full $7 million to the Children's Hospital LA, and that the ACLU after some initial hiccups with the agreement. In fact, in his biting November 2020 decision against Depp in the libel case against Rupert Murdoch's own son, Judge Andrew Niccol made a distinct point in praising Heard as Team Depp sought to sully the motivations of the anti-domestic violence advocate, saying her donation of the $7 million to charity is hardly the act one would expect of a gold digger, said the High Court, but also asserting that the son's claims against Depp were substantially true. Yeah, I always felt that case was kind of like fucked up. However, Heard's lawyer in the Virginia-based defamation matter and her client's $100 million counterclaim did noticeably walk back the full extent of the actress's benefactions, saying that Amber has already been responsible for 7 figures in donations to charitable causes and intends to continue to contribute and eventually fulfill her pledge. So she was given the money that she said, I'm going to give away. And then she just kind of sat on it for a number of years. So it's been almost 5 years now. So she sat on it for a number of years and she'll eventually get around to it. Isn't she making money from being an Aquaman? Isn't she making money from being an Aquaman too? Like, I know she tried to hook up with, she was dating Elon Musk like not long after they broke up, her and Johnny broke up. And that dude just became out like as the richest dude in the world. So it's like, I mean, there were accusations of her being a gold digger back then. And then she shows up, you know, on the arm of Elon Musk. And you're like, oh, Amber, no, come on, sweetie. Anyway, while implicitly confirming Depp's allegations that the donations weren't fully made, her lawyer's explanation actually further complicates the matter in another manner. Depp sued Heard for defamation in 2019, over 2 years after the divorce settlement. So what were the big bucks that Heard had to pay out to lawyers from 2017 to 2019? That question may now become pivotal in the UK, having already seen one appeal attempt go nowhere as Depp's UK lawyers want a new trial, in part because the first trial's judge failed to properly assess her credibility by reference to documentary evidence, photographs, recordings, or otherwise, which if you followed all of that stuff that came out, yeah, it's pretty not good on her part. Judge Nicol concluded that the appellant was guilty of serious physical assaults without taking account of or even acknowledging that Mrs. Heard had been untruthful in her evidence, without testing her account against the documentary evidence and evidence of other witnesses, and without making any findings that he disbelieved those witnesses. And that would be like Winona Ryder and Johnny Depp's like ex-wives and ex-girlfriends. A lot of people came out to speak on his behalf that he was not abusive, whereas Amber Heard has actually been arrested for domestic abuse before in the past. Now, I'm not saying that Johnny Depp and her never tussled, because I do actually think that they are both toxic for one another and that there were some heated situations. But looking at the evidence presented from his side, it's far worse than what she has alleged that I have not seen evidence appear for on her side. What I've seen coming out of her side is Me Too allegation followed by riding the limelight. And you might think me a dick for saying that, but that's kind of how I take it. Now, the Deadline did ask her attorney if the fact that her client had not donated all the $7 million, as she said she was going to, could impact either the U.S. defamation case or the UK matter. And she says, no, they have nothing to do with each other. Now, representatives for Depp did not have a timely statement when contacted by Deadline, but Depp's longtime legal advisor, Adam Waldman, did respond to Heard's lawyer's remark of eventually fulfilling the donations by posting, "Is this the same thing as a 4-year media spasm of the $7 million charitable donation? Is that the same thing that was said in court under oath? No, that is not the same thing." So there's a bit of discrepancy there from what it seems. And then all this stuff from here, it just goes on. You know, what we're going to see, what we take away from this essentially is that Heard got $7 million, was supposed to give $3.5 million of it to the Children's Hospital. $100,000 was paid to it by Depp in her name. And then she didn't give any of the other money. Now, I can understand if there was like, I have legal fees and I have living expenses and all this other kind of stuff. I get that. Fine. But she's been a consistently working actress in the time since then, now starring in a $1 billion property. So her payday is going to be exceptionally larger. So, I mean, this is one of those situations where you're like, well, maybe, you know, like Amber's, she's a bit of a liar. I'm just going to say she's definitely a liar. And she definitely knows how to manipulate, and she definitely knows how to play the game. And Depp is pissed, and Depp is clearly at this point going out there and saying everything that he can to try to clear his name. I think this is a messy and dirty situation, and one that I really do hope will come to fruition where, look, here's my ultimate wish. Okay. I want both parties to basically just agree to never, ever, 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 ever talk to each other ever the fuck again. That's it. Like, treat it like a wash. Treat it like a wash. You walk away. Because no one is going to win. All right? No one is going to win. Depp is not going to win what he wants. He's not going to win his name back. He can get some money out of it, but what's the good of that? You know, I know what he's trying to do. I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not saying don't fight, but I'm saying, like, understand that there is a limit to what is going to be able to be accomplished. And I like Johnny Depp quite a bit. I don't want him to be in a situation where things are going to be like, you know, like where where he crosses the point of no return. That's what I do not want.